What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Kadia, you early, Kadia. Oh man, you early or am I super late? I pushed it back to 9:45. Lord have mercy. How y'all doing? How's it going? How's everybody's evening? Let me pull up my videos I wanted to show. Y'all, it has been a day today. A day today. So, y'all, we're gonna go over part 2 of Tyler Perry's lawsuit. Actually, it's Derrick Dixon's lawsuit filed against Tyler Perry, but we're gonna go over part 2. Let me see. I want to start off with this. That's what I'm gonna start off with. I'm just show a little taste of this. Oh my god. Hopefully you guys know what the Boondocks is. It's something else, I'll tell you that. Let's get some shout outs. Can y'all hear me? You can hear and see me? Thank you. That's good. That's it. Can y'all hear me? How y'all doing? What's going on, everybody? And Zia said, good evening, LLC and chat. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share the video with a friend. And yes, please grab a membership because we will not be deterred with that. We're going to continue our weekly members only live stream and have some fun. Exercise free speech. And if anyone feels froggy, they can jump and I'll be waiting with an e-serve, I guess. Look at that. But this is something else, y'all. The internet is going wild over Tyler Perry. And I tell you someone who did watch a lot of his productions and movies growing up in high school and college. When he first came out, I think it was, out on the scene with his first major production. It was like 1999. I was still in high school. So, to be a teenager and graduate from high school to college, early years of dating and all of that. I learned a lot from Madea and these, productions and stuff like that he put on. There was still some sound wisdom in what he was saying. And it's like, I understand it with the lawsuit, they got to go to court. They got to, the petitioner has the burden. The burden to meet is a preponderance because it's still a civil matter. But it still sucks. It still sucks. It's still the idea that there's an accusation of this caliber. I'm like, man, it's disappointing. Let me put it like that. What's going on, Skeeter? How are you and Mark doing? Kandia had to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. Y'all, Kandia is excited. Excited on this one. We're gonna just play just a little bit of this because the Boondocks, the funny animated cartoon, I think still doing shows. I know they're classic. How about that? They did a parody about Tyler Perry, and it was just kind of like, the Boondocks tried to warn us, y'all. Just like everybody says when it comes to the Simpsons. How many times has something happened and then all of a sudden the Simpsons show clips start coming up saying that the Simpsons tried to warn us about P. Diddy. P. Diddy White Party showed up at least 2 or 3 episodes. They tried to warn us about a lot of things. But a lot of these, high celebrity profile, people in Hollywood and all of that. Naturally, because, you would think some of those people probably going to those parties, probably writing these shows, are acquainted with these actors, actresses and stuff. So naturally they're going to start having shows and, episodes around the talk of the town of what's happening in Hollywood. So the Boondocks did that. What's going on, Enrique? Oh man, how you doing, Ralph? How are you doing? I'm good. I hope everybody's good. It was storming a little bit earlier today, but okay, cool. Y'all can hear and see me. But yes, 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 yes. Um, it said, hold on. Yeah, it was storming a little bit earlier today, so I was kind of worried about it, because my this Xfinity is something else, honey. This thing goes in and out, in and out, in and out, and I'm like, what? Why is it so unstable? A hard rain, and somehow Xfinity doesn't know how to work. Come on, Xfinity. They cost too much for that. Let's see. Hey, Arrow. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Wait, LLC, was it Tyler Perry in accusations a minute ago? Uh, was it? This is the first lawsuit that I've seen him be named in as a defendant. Was it a lawsuit? I don't know. I did put up a video of Christian Keys. Is another actor that was in a lot of Tyler Perry's productions and a couple of his movies or shows. I think he was in the shows. And Christian Keys did a video. Um, and I posted up that video. I think it was like a year old, where he was basically trying to say, I can't bite my tongue anymore. This person's, this way, this way, this way. And the way in the beginning of the video, you think he's talking about P. Diddy. But I was, sitting there watching, and I was like, well, I don't recall him doing anything with P. Diddy. So he has to be talking about Tyler Perry. Because that's what I know him from. So, oh, is that it? Okay, yeah. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe there was some accusations. I don't know. Did it land in court? I haven't seen any lawsuit or anything, but I'm sure that if any accusations came out about Tyler Perry a while ago, it would have been from him. But he never said his name, but he definitely gave specific examples. He held up this box like he was recording conversations or something like that. So I put that up to induce conversation and discussion. You guys can give me your thoughts about it in the comments, in the video, just on. I mean, it kind of goes along with a lot of things that people say about what goes on in Hollywood in general, right? I'm not saying that Tyler Perry is innocent, nor am I saying he's, guilty, but there's definitely people that he has associated himself with, and people who do reach this level of fame and wealth that cross the line. They get overly bold with it. So, it wouldn't be hard to believe some of the things that I've seen so far in this lawsuit with the text messages that he could probably try. Not saying he's done those things, but everybody has their experiences, and I'm sure my experience wouldn't be the same as Christian Keys if Tyler Perry allegedly is doing this with men, and then you won't hear women come out and say, "Oh, he tried to push up on me. He tried to choke me. He sent me these weird texts." Like, because they would have already said that. I think Taraji P. Henson would have already went off and snapped off if there was ever a time where Tyler Perry tried her that way. So it doesn't seem like this is happening with women like it is more so with men when it comes to him. I could be wrong, but so far that's just what I've gathered. But yeah, it is weird. It's to induce some conversation, and you guys, gather what your thoughts are, and drop it in the comments. Let me know how you kind of, how does that hearing him speak now with this lawsuit. And that video is a year old. Keep that in mind. The video of Christian Keys that I posted up was a year old. So that was what he said last year. But as far as the things that he's saying sounds very similar to what Derrick Dixon is claiming and alleging in the lawsuit. So, I figure like this. My grandmama used to say, you get 2-3 or more people saying the same thing about you, it's time to ask, okay, 2, 3, 4 people can't be lying on one person like that. Like, that's kind of that's unorthodox, right? Well, you're just trying to, unless it's a conspiracy, which most people will claim now. At some point, if 10 people come out saying the same thing, they can't all be the liars. They all saying the same thing. They may not even know each other, may not have even been in the same room together, seeing all this stuff. They may have their own experiences, but if their experiences are all sounding almost the same, very identical or extremely similar to each other, then we have to pay, at some point we have to just pay attention. That's my 2 cents on that. Like I said, I'm not saying Tyler Perry is innocent, I'm not saying he's guilty. But I want to make sure I get you all's comments in. Hi, Lynette. How you doing? Oh man, Skeeter Mark, how y'all doing? They have so much money and they try to buy their way out. Yeah, exactly. I just want 100,000. Okay, let me just be able to look at that and see cash, like $100,000 in cash once in my lifetime, so I can just see what that looks like. I'd be all right, man. Yeah, I would be happy as hell. Feel like I would land at 10 million if I just 100 grand would be okay with me. Oh man, they're crazy. I got you, Arrow. Oh, hey Laura, hey Foxy, how y'all doing? Y'all ready? All right, let's check out just a little bit of this. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but because it is supposed to be the Perry about him, I'm just gonna play a little bit of it in the beginning and go from there and get past this this title here. Okay. One in the chat if you can hear and see. Wait, can y'all hear and see? Put the one in the chat if you can hear and see. All right, let's go. That's Tyler Perry all the way.
Before I get the captain line. My dude, this is Jesse. He's my new friend. New friend, huh? So that mean he beating up the cookie?
Tyler Perry all the way.
That's what new friend means to me. Hold on. Hey, Jamal.
Yes, my dude.
I just had to slap the shit out of somebody for no reason. Now, what was he doing trying to say?
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. He doesn't do a lot of cussing like that in his productions. Not like that, But yeah, it's like this. Yeah, pull up. Let me see. One of my favorite ones was Medea's. Which one was that? Medea's family reunion. I think that was like one of my favorites because he went roasting in on Brown like that. That's when we started seeing Brown come around. Brown was married in that production. Like it was so funny, and yeah, I think that was kind of like when he had done a couple productions and people kind of started just getting to know him and his work and creativity. Everybody got past the whole he's wearing a dress and a wig thing. That was one of the funniest though.
Say about your special friend.
His name is Jesse, and he's a good Christian man with benefits.
Benefits? Shoot, girl, why didn't you say so? Good morning, Hell, you can get me for no
Oh my God.
Oh, honey, this booty is still good. You can go ahead and check the expiration date on it. I ain't lying.
Daniel, why are we watching Winston Jerome play?
All right, that's a little bit of the Boondocks right there for y'all. And then it just kind of goes into this episode is hilarious, by the way. It kind of goes into a little bit of like a parody on Diary of a Mad Black Woman, so to speak. Except, yeah, it's not like the exact same, but you can tell if you watch Tyler Perry's productions and stuff, you know exactly who they're referring to in this parody. It's just because it's too close. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
Ain't no homo. I'm a homo your ass. You don't stop saying pause.
Pause. The typical Winston Jerome story starts with a beautiful, educated, professional black woman trapped in a troubled marriage with a brown-skinned bald dude from Law and Order.
How can you do this to me? Get out. I'm going to marry this white pussy because you are too virtuous and strong. And might
Except in the movie, it was I think she was Latino, but yeah, it's pretty much a plot from Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
make me a better man.
Then a dude who looks like Shamar Moore shows up as a shirtless, light-skinned gardener who just got out of jail.
Excuse me, may I rake your leaves?
At first, she acts like she doesn't like the light-skinned gardener, but eventually she gets to know him and sees the sensitive side.
Now, I know that to you, I'm just a poor, light-skinned gardener who can't even afford a shirt. But I love me some Jesus, and I love me some you.
Oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus. I never thought I'd ever be with a man so loving and light-skinned.
And I will always be light-skinned just for you.
Being a good Christian woman, she gives him...
Yeah, this is exactly what the premise is. I'm trying to pause it in some because I don't want to get this like blocked. Because YouTube is weird with copyright and shit. But this is kind of the premise of Diary of a Mad Black Woman. The production and the movie.
Jesus says,
I am dark-skinned and bald, so I hate you and I hate Jesus.
And just when the brown-skinned dude from Law and Order is about to hit her, here comes
Law and Order.
Hold it right there, bald-headed dude from Law and Order.
The woman and the gardener kiss, having found true love through Jesus.
With the gun.
Which role you want this on? Oh, no.
All right, that's good, y'all. I just want y'all to see that because I want y'all to understand what I'm talking about. This is just a parody. This is Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the movie. The movie. Because the dude from that played the husband was literally the dude from Law and Order. He did a few episodes, actually. And the gardener guy was supposed to be Shamar Moore. Oh, my God. All right. So, I wanted to show you all that. And then, oh, man, I got this video with Quality, one of my favorite reactors. And I want to pull this up because he said something so profound when he was watching this, going over, I guess, an article he had
Church music
pulled up, because there is a clip of, and I can pull that up too if y'all want. There's a minute clip that I have of Tyler Perry going to TD Jakes' church. He was praying for him and then he laid hands on him, right? And I mean, this is the same TD Jakes that was like, have you ever been swallowed? Have you ever been swallowed? I was swallowed up. Like that's you've been doing this too long as a bishop to sit here and say stuff like that in a church. Like you've been at it too long. What are you doing? You know that's gonna be a meme. I be darned it became a meme. I can, you know what? I mean, have you ever been swallowed up? It's like, I'm gonna play that first. So y'all can see, not him saying swallow, because we're not talking about TD Jakes, but with Tyler Perry going to his church, laying hands on him and praying on him. So TD Jakes is the one he's putting his hand on that was talking about being swallowed up. God is like, will you stop using my name for this, bro? But let's check this out, and then I'm going to go back to Quality so y'all can understand why he's saying what he's saying. All right?
It will stay upon you. I pray the power of God all over you. I pray his favor. I pray the blood of Jesus will come upon you right now. Keep you in the chaos. God, I thank you for your blessings.
What is happening? Okay. Y'all, he's doing this weird jerk movement. What is the jerking? What? Now, listen. It's not for me to say who's anointed and who's not. I don't think I've ever seen that reaction. All my kids have just growing up in church, and my grandmother was a prayer warrior. I've never seen anyone do that. That confuses. I'm just saying. I've never seen that type of reaction. Normally, people just pray, and they might shed some tears, something like that. But I don't know. I hope he's okay. Whatever was happening. Okay, so moving on. Moving on. So I'm gonna go back to Quality, because he said something very profound
Boondocks episode. Yeah,
And
Boondocks exposed it too. Boondocks also exposed it too.
He's talking about the Boondocks and stuff in this video clip, and he says something here that I have to play. Quality, you guys, if you don't know, one of my favorite reactors. He's almost at 30,000 subs. I'm so proud of him. And he has some of the best reactions to music and stuff. But he pulled this up. You guys, make sure you check him out. Shout out to Quality Reacts. And he always, shouts me out every single time I come up. I'm able to catch his live, and I'm just ever grateful for that. But he says something so profound here about how you have these, just like with P. Diddy and his association with TD Jakes, you using God's name for stuff, and then you don't go out and repent for it, but then you go out and now you're catching allegations of cases like this. Same thing with P. Diddy. Like I said, not saying Tyler Perry is innocent or guilty, but the allegations are simply there. They exist. And seeing that someone has said this previously, it makes you question whether or not there's really some validity to this. Because now we have, two good people that have come out. One came out in a lawsuit. Another one, I guess he bit his tongue and held it in until he did that video, Christian Keys. But you don't see him in Hollywood doing a lot of work. But he used to do, almost half of the productions that have been on stage. Christian Keys was in them. Movies, other shows, television. But he was like, I'm not going to sit here and go do sexual things with men to keep work. It's just not worth it. And you get that a lot from a lot of the people that go to Hollywood and say these things about these moguls like P. Diddy and Tyler Perry and all these accusations like this, because it's crazy to think that, you feel like you gotta, like Cat Williams said, you gotta protect that virgin. You gotta protect that virgin behind you, the hole behind you, just to maintain some integrity and dignity. So we're gonna check this out, and then we're gonna get to the lawsuit. But Quality was spot on. I don't profess to be perfect, but every night before I go to bed, I do repent. You have to, because you never know when the world's going to end, and Judgment Day is going to be something else if you don't. Tell you that. But nothing wrong with seeking forgiveness from God. But that means you got to try to at least strive to try to do better. That's why I said I would call little girl SS. Don't push it. Let's check this out though.
Tyler Perry, when I was young, I didn't know who that was. I knew Madea. It was the funniest thing in the world. A breath of fresh air. They was up there putting God's name. They were singing the glory of God. They was singing church music, all in the plays, praising the Lord. Church music, all in the praise. And it's like, God damn it, is the devil in disguise? If you are allegedly doing what you're doing, Tyler Perry,
perking his act.
All those years of having all that church music, all those years of having everybody sing the beautiful songs throughout your plays. Every freaking play is just blessed upon that beautiful church music, hearing them sing to the heavens, hearing the beautiful vocals. And then you got Madea come around letting you know that she really not too church singy, but she still, believes in God, but she got this image is like, hey, if I gotta go out, I gotta go out. Have this tough girl image where I'm not all the way churchy, but I do what I have to do to, get done. It's like, it's a devil in disguise. I really feel like it's a devil in disguise right now. Y'all on fire in this chat. Made his money on women suffering. Park Turkey. I agree, it was funny. A breath of fresh air, but started to hear the rumors and questions. And that's why, and it's just like, and it's just so.
He's reading his chat.
It's just like are y'all?
You start hearing rumors swirling about his, sexuality, all these types of things and stuff like that. And I think when he first came out on the scene, there was some tendencies that many of us were just willing to overlook. But when it starts rolling into some serious allegations, that's when it becomes problematic. I can guarantee you all, I don't care about anyone's sexuality. I'm straight. I'm not gay, but I don't care if you are. But I think when your sexuality becomes an issue regarding disrespecting someone else's boundaries, like, you know, Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby and Kevin Spacey and, you know, P. Diddy and now alleged Tyler Perry. Like when that starts to cross boundaries and you're sitting here enforcing yourself on others or enforcing other people to do stuff to other people, like, no, it's never about what type of sexuality you are. It's about how you're weaponizing it and how you're handling that. You still don't have the right to force yourself on anyone else. Period. No matter what you are. So that's the lesson that gets lost. And then it becomes a matter of, oh, you just, you know, their sexuality is the issue. No, it's not. It's a matter of them not respecting other people's boundaries. That's the issue. And some of these people have gone to prison for what they did. R. Kelly is in prison. You know, ODing and stuff. I don't know if he did it to himself, if someone did it to him, but you know, he's gone to prison. He's been convicted. So in those scenarios where people have been convicted of, you know, of forcing themselves on someone else and their will upon someone else, regardless of sexuality, why should he not suffer the consequences for his actions? A jury found him guilty. But you can't be unrepentant and then talk about God, and then you go back to still doing the same thing you're doing. And that's part of what Quality is saying here, which points down to the very lesson about hypocrisy. That's what it comes down to. No one expects perfection, not even God. But to be so blatantly hypocritical to where, especially to where it's unreasonable in situations like this, where you're talking about allegations that's leading you in court because someone's saying that you forced yourself on them. Like, are you kidding? That's wild, you know? So I'm gonna just play out so he can finish, but this is just so imperative for people to understand. There's a huge difference. No one's questioning or even worried about this. I don't care about his sexuality. Doesn't pay my bills. But how you're weaponizing it is what's becoming the problem.
Are y'all mocking God? I don't want to get too crazy in this, but are y'all mocking God? Like, you know, your sin, the way you treat people, the way you do things to people, allegedly, and then you go on stage and then you have people singing for the Lord and glory to God and giving them all their freaking graces and doing all of this beautiful churchy music, the best vocals in the world from different forms of sizes and shapes, and you just love to embrace how pure the play to me was. It was overwhelming. It felt great. You gave me the funny, then you gave me the Lord. You put two things that was like well needed in this world: the laugh and have the Lord, the laugh and the Lord, laugh and the Lord, and then you just look at it like, oh, this was the act of the devil. This was the act of the devil to deceive us, to mock the Lord and use him to make us feel like you are a good person, allegedly, and then you pull what you do behind the scenes. And it's not the first accusation. Dixon is not the first case or the first scenario. It was a lot of accusations leading up to Dixon, and it was going out throughout the years. Before what Cat Williams said, it was a lot going on throughout the years. Are you mocking the Lord? Was everybody mocking the Lord? TD Jakes, are you mocking the Lord? Freaking people twerking and singing and twerking and doing all these type of and crumping. Are y'all mocking God's name? When it's time to speak of the Lord, are y'all mocking him? Knowing that what y'all doing behind the scenes is just foul. Your egregious acts behind the scenes, and then you want to put Lord to just cover up the wounds? Are you using God to cover up all the freaking darkness you have put out there? Is it really, are you deceitful?
He's making a good point here.
I hear it was not because of God. All that bull stuff you did to get where you at was not because of God. You praising the wrong person. God forgives. God is not going to be praised for y'all devilish acts. Do not praise him for what you was, the foul stuff that you did, and then you want to praise the Lord after you got done doing that. And y'all come out here making plays. Y'all come out here on stages twerking with God name in y'all mouth. Twerking. Got there saying wild stuff. You ever been swallowed up with God's name in your mouth?
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. in church.
Stop putting God's name in your mouth to try to get rid of. You don't even use God's name in your mouth to get rid of your sins. You're sinning and then praising the Lord after your sins. You're not even asking God to help you get rid. Please, like, you're not repenting. You're not asking God to forgive your sins. You're sinning and then praising the Lord after the sins.
Yep.
That's not asking God for forgiveness.
You better talk. Yes, sir. So I wanted to play that because I just, I just thought it was spot on. And you guys make sure you go check out Quality Reacts. He had a good live today, like it was almost 3 hours. So I think he only talked about that for about a good 20 minutes. And I was able to catch as much as I could. But he made some very great points. I mean, the whole putting on the show because you call yourself a pastor or bishop is you got Tyler Perry laying hands on you, but now was he speaking in tongues or something? Did I hear that wrong? Jesus. But I mean, you turn around and still do the same old thing over and over again with no repentance at all. It does makes a mockery, right? And that's kind of what he was saying, and I agree to that. No one expects perfection, but at least seek repentance. Try to do better. Like I said, I won't say super stupid. I'll say SS. The end. How are you moving on? All right. Shout out to all of you all in here. Gemini, thank you for being in. Foxy Roxy, thank you so much for dropping the link to your YouTube channel. You guys make sure you go out and show Foxy Roxy some love. If I can get one of the mods to drop the link to Quality Reacts as well, I would appreciate that, y'all. We're going to get started on part 2 of this lawsuit because it gets juicy. And I'm not going to be too long with 32 minutes in. I just kind of wanted to get some of the little intro things in. Laura has a crush on Quality. Can you find his YouTube channel link, please, and post it up if you can? Hey, Justin, how you doing? Karen, how you doing? You all right? Still praying for you, honey. I'm hoping everything's okay. Rusty is transitioned over. But we are here. We are here, and so are you. Thank you for tuning in. Enrique, if pay. Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. Christian Keys has got paid off, probably signed an NDA. We won't hear from him. Not this anymore. Probably not. Like I said, the video that I posted up was over a year old. So he may have, gotten some sort of settlement or whatnot. Anyone else in here with a YouTube channel, by the way? I want to just recognize all you guys and make sure your links are in the chat for your YouTube channels. We got Foxy, Quality. God is revealing the evil. God is gathering his flock. We stand against evil. Yes, that's right. The devil is a liar. That's why we rebuke spirits and demonic spirits. We don't do that. Jesus is not for play when it comes to that. Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe, become a member, all those good things. Share the video, share the content. This is making wildfire news all over the internet with this Tyler Perry lawsuit. Thank you so much, Candia, for dropping the link to Quality Reacts. You guys go check him out. All right, he's so much fun. He's funny. And he does a lot of reactions to like rap, hip hop music, talks to, huge Kendrick Lamar fan. But he does talk about, other content and you guys make sure you go and support him. Show your love for him. He's always doing that here. Let's get to it, y'all. Whoo, man, everybody ready? Y'all got popcorn? Don't like, hey, Mom, why are you late? Don't like Tyler Perry. Yeah, I know. His shows and movies are kind of like copy and paste now. I think it's kind of hard to have, to even enjoy, anything funny right now at this point. Carolyn, you still in here? How you doing? Want to make sure I got everybody in. All right. Enrique, everybody's here. Got everybody in. 31 people watching. Let's get to it, y'all. What's up? Lord have mercy. Let me take this down. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got Carolyn comments sitting up there. All right, let's get to it. So we stopped at page 10 yesterday, right before factual allegations. So I'm gonna read as much as I can tonight. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not even had dinner. I went straight from finishing up work to, grabbing a shower and getting some laundry in the dryer, and I haven't even had dinner today. So yeah, that's how busy I've been. Let's get to it. So, in or around September 2019, plaintiff worked for an event company called Legendary Events in Atlanta and was hired to organize defendant Perry's studio opening party. Plaintiff was recruited by Tony Conway, the owner of Legendary Events and close friend of Tyler Perry. Ms. Conway decided to place Dixon directly in a role at a party that required frequent conversation with Tyler Perry. I gotta kill this video. Let me turn it on. Okay. So, defendant Perry picked plaintiff out of a crowd of employees present at the party and began asking plaintiff questions about his employment status and whether plaintiff was an actor. So, okay, now let's keep this in mind. Of all the people there, he picked this one person out of the entire crowd. All the people there, men and women. He was straight for Dixon. Oh, Lord. In or around early October, and on the last day of the party, defendant Perry insisted that he and plaintiff exchange phone numbers, and Perry subsequently texted plaintiff to introduce himself. Perry began by asking Dixon about his dreams and aspirations. Dixon told Perry that he was interested in acting and writing. Perry then told Dixon to do an audition over the phone and send it to Perry. Dixon told Perry he was at a Halloween party. Perry asked to see pictures of Dixon in costume, and Dixon complied. When Perry saw the pictures, he texted Dixon, "I was gonna say, your cowboy needs a sugar daddy." I'm dead. What the world? Fix it, Jesus, fix it. Lord have mercy. I was gonna say, your cowboy needs a sugar daddy. Perry continued with, "You look great. You're just lacking costume parts. Sorry, don't want to offend." Yeah, because, we can't all be billionaires like you, Tyler Perry. Yeah. Dixon responded, "Not at all. It's so true. Half-assed costume." To which Perry replied, "What's true? Cowboy needs a sugar daddy?" Implying that Perry wanted to be Dixon's sugar daddy. You can't make this up. Dixon quickly shut down those comments by reiterating what he said earlier, that the truth was that he was lacking costume parts. Because, yeah. Yeah, boy. Shortly thereafter, Dixon's boss at Legendary Events called Dixon and told him that Tyler Perry was having another event in Los Angeles and specifically wanted Mr. Dixon to fly from Atlanta to LA to work on the event. Y'all, I'm going to start abbreviating these cities. Excited for the opportunity to fly to LA, Dixon was flattered and jumped on the opportunity to meet Tyler Perry again. Shortly after doing the event on November 3rd, 2019, defendant Perry sent plaintiff several text messages that he would love to find plaintiff a job and change plaintiff's life, insisting that they should make it happen. Perry sent Dixon what turned out to be an ominous warning. "Be careful hanging around me. I cause dreamers to dream bigger. I cause them to not only believe, but do. Then let's make it happen. You're an artist. You have to be fulfilled. Nothing else will suffice." Do I believe that they're reaching with that? Yes. Yeah, you're going to bold and you have to be fulfilled. Oh, come on. Could you say it was somewhat uncomfortable? Yeah, but I don't know how that implies a quid pro quo. It's not quite there. not with just what he's highlighted and bolded so far. Be careful hanging around me. You have to be fulfilled. When they highlight this, that's what they want the judge to kind of pick out, to kind of scream, oh, quid pro quo. It's like, no. They didn't even talk about doing anything sexual. All right, let's keep going. The very next day, defendant Perry sent an email which contained an offer for plaintiff to play the role of Dale in Perry's television series, Ruthless. I didn't even know that was a show. Oh, God. Perry said it was a small role that could get a lot bigger, thereby setting up the first stage in a series of escalating quid pro quo offers. Okay. At this point, Dixon did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for a sexual relationship. Dixon assumed that Tyler Perry was genuinely a caring person who discovered the talent that Dixon always felt he had. Dixon filmed his roles in Ruthless in mid-November and went back to his job as an event staff for Legendary Events. Approximately 1 month later, Perry bought and gave Dixon a new car because he hated Dixon's Jeep. Can I get $100,000? Tyler Perry, just do it as a super chat. I didn't. Can I get 100 grand? Oh my God, he bought him a car. Of all the employees and the staff that probably needed one, he just bought this guy a car because he couldn't stand seeing him in his Jeep. Y'all, this is something else. Lord. Okay. Whoo, man, this is getting good. Dixon was surprised and elated. Dixon had no idea that he was being set up by Perry for extreme dependence. In December of 2019, Dixon was requested to be part of the event staff at another event at Perry's home in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Wyoming? That's a random state. After that event, Perry started frequently sending text messages, making phone calls, and demanding that Dixon give Perry some attention. On New Year's Eve 2019, this is what happens when you take a car from them for free. Tyler Perry texts Dixon, I can't tell you the last time I pumped gas or went to the supermarket or fly commercial. Oh, keep bragging, Tyler Perry. Good grief. He's so stuck on himself. I'm start over. I can't tell you the last time I pumped gas or went to the supermarket or fly commercial or packed a bag or had good sex. It was before I was rich. Wasn't he living in his car? Tyler Perry, you were homeless living in your car, bro. Dixon found these messages to be strange and untowardly coming from someone like Tyler Perry. But being new to the industry, Dixon played along by downplaying the sexual comments and hoping that being around Perry would allow him to showcase his talents as an actor and writer. Soon after Dixon began giving Perry more attention, Perry made his move on Dixon. In January of 2020, just a few months after his first acting gig, Perry invited plaintiff to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Now, you guys have to remember the time frame we're talking about here. 2020 was like at the height of COVID. So why are they all around each other? I don't know. I mean, it's COVID-19. It really started around March of 2019. So January of 2020, we were still all stuck in the house praying to God Johnson & Johnson would drop some more gloves and face masks. And toilet paper, you know, because people were buying toilet paper like that was supposed to. How you get rid of COVID with toilet paper? All right. God. Plaintiff showed up to the home hoping that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented an actor Dixon was. At Perry's home, Dixon was served many alcoholic drinks, which I would not have taken, which Perry also partook in. Dixon felt that Perry was genuinely interested in Dixon's talents as an actor and writer. Perry made no sexual advances at Dixon while they were drinking, and the conversation was friendly. At the end of the night, Perry told Dixon not to drive home. Perry said it was dangerous and that Dixon was too inebriated to drive home. Dixon agreed and was escorted to a separate guest room, not knowing that this was a ruse to allow Perry to assault Dixon. Dixon was tired, did not have pajamas, and so he got into bed only wearing underwear. How does this go for the rich people in the room? For all the rich people in the room. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to read and look at comments, so let me look at comments. For all the people in the room, tell me this. Someone comes and they spends the night at your house, right? You know, they're too drunk and inebriated and all that good stuff. All right, cool. You're drunk and inebriated. You let somebody stay in your house. They ain't got no clothes and you know that. Wouldn't you either like, okay, let me see if I can find you a shirt and some, you know, basketball shorts, something like that. Wouldn't you at least try to offer them some clothes? Or like, hey man, I ain't got no clothes, you know, and I can't sleep in what I, you know, been wearing all night. I just feel, you know, uncomfortable. You know what? Let me get you wouldn't he have some brand new t-shirts or somewhere he could just throw and give Buddy and give him a pair of shorts? Like you chose to sleep in the bed with just underwear on. Like you didn't ask for a shirt and some shorts. I'm just asking here for all the rich people in the room. Don't they have like, you know, a drawer, brand new t-shirt sitting around just in case reasons? He can't remember the last time he did laundry, I'm sure. So somebody's doing laundry. When you go get one of you know your assistants to go and can you one of you all go and get him a shirt and some shorts and some socks or something? Make sure he at least able to get a shower in or whatever. You can wear that. You can keep it, bro. You ain't gotta give it back either. I mean, come on. Oh my God, case dismissed. Enrique said case dismissed. Hey, road tripping. How you doing? What's going on? Oh Lord, I would have called him an Uber. I mean, seriously. If you bought him a car, this is after he bought him a car. All right. He had already bought him a car. So he bought him a brand new car. He didn't like him driving. He hated his Jeep that probably was paid for, but he brought him a car. You go out there, you still take time to chill out with him. You keep drinking drinks, knowing that you got to drive. Like I said, I'm not saying that Tyler Perry is innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm just stating what's in the documents, and I'm just kind of giving my observation. Common sense would tell me to stop drinking at some point so that I can take my ass home. I'm not going to keep drinking alcohol you're giving me simply because you're giving me alcohol. I'm like, nah, bro, I got to drive. Stop giving me drinks. At least, you know, I don't know if they ate any food or anything, you know, something kind of absorbed that alcohol. But I'm not going to keep drinking alcohol either. I'm just not. Like, all right, I'm only getting one drink because I want to drive the hell up out of here. I'm going home. I'm sleeping in my bed and get a shower. I'm comfortable. You have a good night. That's it. That's how they would have went. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, let's get back to it. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out here, you know, because I ain't no anywhere I would have kept drinking. Yeah, SpongeBob jammies. Y'all crazy. All girls don't like your view. I mean, come on. I hate your truck. Bro, it's paid for. I got the title. Who cares? I don't even want Tyler Perry to buy me a new car. Just give me the money that would be the equivalent of you buying one. Let me do what I want to do. I need to do with that money. I could use $50,000 right now. You know, Tyler Perry want to send me some money. Don't buy me no car. No, send me the money. I can pay some bills. Are you kidding me? You don't see him buy somebody a car because you hate their Jeep. Like, that Jeep the Jeep did nothing to you, Tyler Perry. That Jeep was absolutely innocent in all of this. Did you nothing wrong. Oh, God. All right, let's get back to it. Before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone else slip into bed behind him and start rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thigh in a highly sexual and suggestive manner. Dixon turned around and saw that Tyler Perry was in bed with him. Dixon didn't turn around and see Tyler Perry came in the room. Like, did he not hear him walking in the room? I'm asking. Before maybe I missed something. Did I miss something? So he didn't have any pajamas. He got into bed only wearing underwear. Before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone else slip into bed behind him and started rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thigh in a highly sexual and suggestive manner. Dixon turned around and saw that Tyler Perry was in bed with him. How is the bed positioned in the room in relation to the door? Like, I could see someone walk in my room. Like, you're not going to be able to walk in my room and slip in bed in my bedroom, because I will be able to see you walk in my room. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too hard about this. Because some of this stuff just not making sense. That's all I'm saying. And then he turned around and saw Tyler Perry was in bed with him. Oh. At this point, yeah, I had to scream a little bit. At this point, Dixon's stomach started to turn and he began feeling nauseous. Instinctively, Dixon jumped out of bed and told Tyler Perry that he wasn't that sexual. Tyler Perry ignored the comments and told Dixon to turn around so Perry could see him naked in his underwear. Perry then commented on how beautiful Dixon's body was. Dixon once again told Perry that he was not into sex. Dixon kept informing Perry that he was not into sex in order to keep Perry at bay, while at the same time not insulting the person who was dangling his career in front of him. In response to Dixon's frequent assertions that Dixon was not into sex, Perry started prying further. Perry would send Dixon a text message saying, "I would hope that you will let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me, I hope you get past that block in your mind soon." Perry was implying that Dixon would hopefully get past the block in his mind and will let Tyler Perry make love to him. Okay. Here's the text message, y'all, to Tyler Perry. Which is weird. You think it would say to Derrick Dixon if it's coming from Tyler Perry. But, I don't have an iPhone, so whatever. So Tyler Perry allegedly said in this text, "I would hope that you will let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me, I hope you get past that block in your mind soon." And then Derrick Dixon's conversation is in blue allegedly here. "Well, it's not this person, but yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping." Okay, after that assault in January, Dixon felt betrayed. Perry continued to call or text Dixon every day, asking to talk to him more. Dixon ignored Perry, which led Perry to text him, "Derrick, why don't you text me more?" The more Dixon ignored Perry, the more aggressive Perry became, until finally Perry offered Dixon a part in a new show called The Oval. Dixon, which I have not seen, by the way. Dixon was intrigued and was hoping that this would be the big break that he was looking for, and a chance for him to display his acting talent. On February 11, 2020, Perry told Dixon to quit his job at Legendary Events and come work exclusively for Perry. Perry was not able to control Dixon so long as Dixon had a secondary income that was providing for his basic needs, and to which I would have told Tyler Perry, hell no. Why would you quit your job, man? No, thank you. I'm not quitting, but I'll still come and do the role. Then you buy me a car, I have to pay car insurance and put gas in it, pay for maintenance. You got to get the sticker. The taxes here in Georgia are ridiculous. Like, I have whole responsibilities now with a brand new car. Oh, dear God. Okay. Once Dixon quit his job due to his role on The Oval, Perry started getting more and more personal with Dixon, knowing that Dixon was now under his control. Perry would often say things like, "I give and give and give. No, I give and give and give, and no one ever should be does anything for me in return. No one ever gives me what I want or what I need, implying that Dixon was not giving him sex. I don't know how that implies sex, but could imply he just wanted something in return. Because he didn't say sex, but he wanted something in return. Perry started asking Dixon about Dixon's sexual preferences and what role Dixon took on when engaging in sexual acts, whether he was a top or bottom, which in sexual terms means whether Dixon preferred to give or receive anal sex. We know what it means, attorney. Counselor, this is too long. Oh, God. Perry further indicated to Dixon that he had sex with men before. Okay, so Dixon was gay. All right. Before, and that he was a top. Perry further told Dixon that when you have a big D and when you hit the G spot right on those bottoms, they go crazy. Counselor, when you have a big D and when you hit the G spot right on these bottoms, they go crazy. See something like this? Tyler Perry, being the grown man he claims to be, would not have said anything like this if he was not gay. You don't make statements like this if you're not gay, because how would you know that? Like, straight men don't talk like this. They don't. Yeah, you hit them bottoms in the G spot, they go crazy. Like, wait, a bottom what? Dude? Like, no straight man would have a reason to say this to a gay man. Unless you have participated in anal sex. I mean, what the hell? Why don't you just come out and say he's gay at the very least? Perry further told plaintiff that he wanted a man who was in a relationship with another individual, but with whom he could be emotionally involved and engage in sexual acts with, like a friend with benefits. So he didn't want to be emotionally involved. Friends with benefits don't get emotionally involved. Because Perry did not have time to deal with the emotional aspect of a relationship, only the physical. Okay, so counselor needs to do an amendment on this, because that definitely is going to be interpreted incorrectly. But with whom he could not be emotionally involved. See, one word changes this whole meaning of this. Yeah, I hope he did. We read yesterday where there was some John Does that they were going to have to get names for, and an amended complaint was expected to be filed for that. So hopefully the attorney that wrote this will go back and at least include words that will definitely change the meaning of the statement. Good grief. All right. Despite these comments, Dixon knew that a full-throated refusal. No pun intended. Yo, this is something else. Okay, this attorney is really showing their ass in this lawsuit right here. You really being funny. Despite these comments, Dixon knew that a full-throated refusal. Man. What child? Refusal would land him in the doghouse and might result in his robe being cut on the oval. Oh, this attorney is something else. Fearing that his career would end before it began, Dixon put up with these comments and continued to maintain he was not the sexual type. Y'all, he's not even trying to be, tact about this. The judge is gonna be reading this like, did he just say full-throated? The judge is gonna look at that and say, yeah, he just said full-throated. Okay. All right, counsel. Y'all, it's something else. Who child? A full-throated. Y'all, that full-throated refusal is just, it's hard to come out. Oh my God. All right. On or around March of 2020, Dixon received the script for The Oval. He was written in as a season regular and was therefore expected to quit his job with legendary events. Dixon's character was written as a gay, homeless, and desperate store clerk who had to sleep with one of the other characters for a place to stay. Oh, wow. More importantly, at the end of the season, his character would be shot 4 times in the chest. Dixon felt that this was a way for Perry to test Dixon out for a year and see if he would be loyal to Perry. So I guess that screen test with the shooting thing would determine whether he came back and somehow survived 4 gunshot wounds to the chest, or if the character just died, which would be naturally what more than 50% of the time would happen anyway. Ooh, child. Tyler Perry, sometimes you just beyond reality. 4 times in the chest is excessive. In this reality here on Earth, the average person probably would not survive that, depending on where you're shooting them in the chest. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to hit a lung or the heart or a major artery. So they would die. Why 4 times is my question. Oh, God. 1 bullet would do it if you just hit the right spot. Kidding? Jesus Christ. When Dixon asked Perry about the shooting, Perry indicated that if Dixon did a good job, Dixon would be back, and that a shooting didn't necessarily mean that Dixon's character was out of the script for future seasons. How would you explain this character miraculously surviving 4 gunshot wounds to the damn chest, where both lungs, major arteries, and the heart is sitting there located? How do you explain that, Tyler Perry? Because that's not how science works. That's not human anatomy. It's not how biology works. None of that. It just doesn't work that way. That's so fantastical. Good child. Ugh. Perry commented that Dixon's character was only shot in the chest, not in the head. Jesus be a science teacher. What do you mean, Tyler Perry? Do you not have someone you can consult and say, hey, I'm writing a character. This person is going to catch 4 gunshot wounds to the chest. What's the chance of them surviving that? This is ridiculous. Oh, God. Yeah, you mean to tell me he will still die? It's not a shot to the head. Are you kidding? So Tyler Perry doesn't know how the human body works. Okay. All right. Dixon immediately understood that his job security depended on his relationship with Perry. From this point on, Dixon worked with the constant fear of losing his job if he did not engage with and endure Perry's sexual harassment. Shortly after giving Dixon this news, and after telling Dixon that future seasons were dependent on Dixon doing a good job, Tyler Perry invited Dixon to his home in Atlanta. Plaintiff asked questions and tried to wiggle his way out of the invitation because he remembered what happened the last time the two were alone. However, plaintiff knew that his job security, income, and livelihood depended on his attendance. How about this? That car he bought you, sell it. And whatever cash you get out of that, use that to help yourself kind of just stay above water and go get you another job. And then now you have, $40,000, $50,000. I don't know what type of car he bought him, but whatever you can get out of that car being sold, get that money, pay your rent for 2 or 3 good months while you find another job that can actually pay you a little bit more money. Because that would not have been worth it. This is crazy. Plaintiff had seen other employees of Perry's who had experienced sudden deaths on the show when they fell on Perry's bad side. In fact, Perry had made it clear to Dixon that he would often kill characters in order to get an actor to be loyal or obedient. When Dixon arrived at the house, Tyler Perry gave Dixon a warm welcome and was very friendly. Soon after, Tyler Perry started asking Dixon a slew of sexually charged questions, even asking if Dixon liked it rough in bed. Perry then physically reached out and violently grabbed Dixon's throat, attempting to physically choke Dixon, and remarked, "Wow, look how excited you just got. You do like that." What? Oh my. Why was he there? This is 2020. Dixon was horrified, shocked, and in a panic. Dixon never thought that Tyler Perry could get so violent and would place his hands on Dixon's throat in a sexually aggressive manner. Dixon did not enjoy or consent to any of this conduct. Dixon was in shock and took steps to immediately de-escalate the situation. None of that involved you leaving that house. Due to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020, filming for The Oval was postponed indefinitely. More of a reason to get another job, preferably not one where you work from home. During the period in which filming for The Oval was postponed, Tyler Perry would make FaceTime calls and other contacts to Dixon almost every day, treating Dixon as his on-call pet. Dixon felt obligated to answer for fear of losing his role, income, and career that was not really happening indefinitely because COVID-19 would have killed you faster than those 4 gunshot wounds to the chest, according to Tyler Perry, because science. Oh, God. Perry often asked about Dixon about his whereabouts, often demanding that Dixon respond immediately. When he didn't, Perry would send text messages to Dixon stating, "Derrick, grr, and what are you doing?" Y'all, I'm reading this like a story bedtime book because it's the only way I can take this shit seriously. You got to read this like a bedtime story. It just, at this point, I can't help but to get overly animated because it's so silly. It's silly from the stance of, the counselor is truly trying to send a message and paint a picture here. Full-throated refusals and all this stuff. And then, the things that should have happened that didn't happen. And the fact that Tyler Perry is not aware that getting shot 4 times in the chest might just kill somebody. Who, man, is getting fantastical, okay? It is, oh, Lord. All right. Additionally, Perry was jealous of anyone who Dixon had a relationship with. Tyler Perry told Dixon that if Dixon got COVID-19 from his roommate at the time, Dixon would not be able to shoot The Oval. Perry encouraged Dixon to move into one of the on-set studio houses owned by Perry, where Perry would have more control over Dixon's whereabouts. Thereafter, Perry would text plaintiff about other actors on his show, Ruthless. Perry told Dixon how he manipulated employees through ruthless retaliation. Perry told Dixon that if he did not like the way an actor behaved or the way the actor was acting, the character would simply die in season 2. Ugh. Tyler Perry, now you want to be petty? You're a billionaire. Why are you being petty? Tyler Perry is petty as hell. Dixon understood that Perry was informing Dixon to be cautious about disappointing or upsetting Perry. As a result, Dixon continued to put up with Perry's suggestive messages and sexual advances while doing his best to protect himself by taking notes and amassing evidence of the sexual harassment and keeping old text messages. In one conversation in around April of 2020, Perry told Dixon that Perry imagined Dixon prancing around in a cowboy outfit and that Perry did things to Dixon and that he couldn't talk with Dixon about any further because they were so wrong. He would imagine this. Perry told Dixon that Perry imagined Dixon prancing around in a cowboy outfit. Because his imagination is just so... What the hell? You're a grown man. In or around April of 2020, and while Dixon was living in the studio homes on set, Perry often coerced Dixon to drink alcohol and then get on the phone with Perry. Perry would frequently have someone drop off alcohol at Dixon's door. Perry would eventually turn these phone calls into sexually explicit rants. Perry would get frustrated with Dixon and tell Dixon that he was not giving Perry what he needs. Dixon's refusal to succumb to Perry's sexual advances caused Perry to be even ever more frustrated, even more counseling, even more. Okay. Eventually, Perry warned Dixon that if Dixon told his castmates about the harassment, Dixon would be opening himself up to lots of questions and foolishness, and demanded that Dixon not discuss any of their conversations with his castmates. Who child? Okay, we finna get to some more text messages. Perry upped the stakes by telling Dixon point blank that he was not to tell anyone about their friendship. Perry told Dixon that it should all remain a secret and tried to make it seem like this secret was for Dixon's benefit. Okay. So y'all see here, this is supposed to be Tyler Perry's messages in white, right? And then his is in blue. Listen to me. If you let the cast know that you and I have a new friendship, then you are opening yourself up to a lot of questions and foolishness. You want them to know that you are there because of your talent and not because we have a friendship or because Tony got me to give you a job. What? Yeah, do y'all see this? Tony got me to give you a job. You earned your spot like everyone else, even though Tony got him to give him a job. Don't give people an opportunity to play you small or they will. I can't teach you everything. Unfortunately, there are some things you'll have to learn for yourself. Because when we go back to work, I'm not going to know you. I don't have any friends that work for me, my friend. Professionalism is key. You're totally right. I hope you got it, my friend. That makes total sense why he still calls him friend. Just watch the behavior of everyone around me on set. Yeah, I will. Don't want to give anyone that opportunity. Because work is work. Okay. But, you know, Tony got him to give him a job. So, what does any of that matter? Oh, God. Perry continued to sexually harass Dixon on June 27, 2020. Defendant Perry texted Dixon that all he wanted for his birthday were biscuits and BJs, referring to blowjobs, oral sex, but that all Perry ever received were biscuits, insinuating a request for oral sex from Dixon. This text was followed by other messages calling Dixon cutie, and that Perry was just thinking about Dixon. Despite these advances, Dixon continued to act professionally and continued to tell Perry he was not sexual. What is he saying? That I'm not sexually attracted to you when he says this, or I'm not having sex? What? I mean, come on. Come on, counselor. Just spill it out. That seemed to be the only way of keeping Perry at bay while keeping his job. My stomach growled. In July of 2020, Perry remarked about how much he loved the script for Dixon's television series called Losing It and exclaimed that he wanted to shoot the pilot for it. Perry would never really work toward that goal, and what Perry was really doing was making Mr. Dixon more dependent on Perry so that Perry could later extract sexual favors from Dixon as a quid pro quo to produce the pilot. Here's the thing. Quid pro quo means that you're getting something in return. If he's denying him on every level, and he's basically trying to tell him, I'm not sexually attracted to you, then, you know, you got to present the case that this is quid pro quo. Is he getting something in return or is he not? That will be the question the judge would ask. The way this sounds, it doesn't seem like he ever got anything in return, but he kept allegedly giving. It sounds like Dixon was playing his ass out. Y'all, this something else. Let me get some comments in. Hold on. Oh, everybody's listening to bedtime story. All right, got it. Cool. Y'all good? There's 30 people watching. Make sure you're hitting the like button. In or around August 2020, Dixon and his castmates began shooting for the Oval after delays due to COVID-19 pandemic, during which time all castmates and crew lived on the studio set in a quarantine bubble. Shortly after, Perry confided in Dixon that two cast members were pissing him off and that Perry swore that he knew how to fix this shit. Perry added that he loves killing fucker in a show that no one expects. That he was going to shoot them all, shot. Huh? Going to shoot them all shot and kill them mofos characters, referring to killing off characters in the overplayed actors who Perry wanted to retaliate against. Once again, Tyler Perry is petty as hell. All right, let's read the text because it didn't make sense to type that over there. But I swear to you, I know how to fix the shit. I love killing them in a show that no one expects. And then Dixon in blue here says, you could be sipping Mai Tais counting coconuts right now. Think about the last, so Tyler Perry says, think about the last episode. They are all shot at. We don't know who lives. And then Dixon says, exactly. I'm scared. They should be too. Perry says, nope, they're not. Dixon says, last I checked, we all got the same bullets in us. Oh, Lord. Ooh, Tyler Perry petty as hell. More importantly, Perry stated in one text message, I may need to shoot the shoot out early, which Dixon understood to mean that unless the actors knew they were going to die and that their time on the show was over, they wouldn't change their ways. Perry was going to film the shootout early so that the actors would be more submissive to Perry's request. So, y'all, these text messages are something else. I'm expanding it so y'all can see it. They printed the text messages as a PDF. So that's what you're seeing up here with messages dash tylerperry.pdf. This is it's printed to PDF. Look at that. So Perry says they are stupid to think that. So stupid. I'm gonna have a come to Jesus moment with them. I think I'm going to shoot them all get shot. I think I'm going to shoot them all get shot. Okay. That'll do it. They'll be like, wait, and then eyeballs. I may need to shoot the shoot out early. Like Tuesday? Or maybe, okay, that Beyonce song on the loudspeaker for everyone. And then he has, looks like, you must not know about me. You must not know about me. Okay, Beyonce song. I was just about to text you this. Who child? Yeah, he's so petty. He's so damn petty. Perry intentionally made these comments to instill fear in Dixon. Mr. Dixon now knew that he too would lose his job if Dixon did not play ball with Perry's sexual harassment. This is what Perry had been setting up. Dixon was now fully reliant on Perry for his income, hope, and future aspirations. Perry made it clear that Dixon was not to disclose the relationship to anyone else, and Dixon was aware that Tyler Perry would kill him off the show for good, thereby ending his career if Dixon got on Perry's bad side. To top it all off, Dixon already knew that his character was shot 4 times at the end of the seasons, but that the shots might not be fatal. How? What? Where did he get shot? I want to see the spots on the damn chest. Show me the dummy doll and the areas where the shots landed. So that, or was he wearing a bulletproof vest, Tyler Perry? Is that what happened? He was wearing a bulletproof vest. Is that the aha moment? He was wearing a bulletproof vest. He lives. Because otherwise, explain that to me. Didn't he just do a movie called Straw? Where one of the alternate endings, spoiler for those who hadn't seen it, like myself, I just saw a summary of it. But there are 2 alternate endings to this. One of them, she walks out with another person in the bank and goes to jail and gets arrested. The other ending, she gets shot 1 time in the chest and dies. Tyler Perry, you understand that if someone gets shot in the chest, they're probably going to die depending on where you shoot them. 4 times in the chest is not an accident. And your script makes no sense if that's what happened. It's not science. God, this is something else. Oh, God. replaceable. It's so crazy. Unless he comes out and the big reveal is that he was wearing a bulletproof vest. Yeah, people just 4 times in the chest, in the centerpiece here. This the chest area. You get 4 bullets. How would you survive that? What are you kidding me? Is he including the abdomen area in the chest when he say chest? I don't know how this goes. God. All right, y'all. I'm going to get to page 20 and then we're going to stop do part 3 because it's already hitting 11 o'clock and I don't want to keep you all too long. Oh, man. This is like a bedtime story for real. One where you just can't help but to laugh at this point. In July of 2020, Perry read the script of Dixon's pilot and told Dixon that he loved the show so much he wanted to shoot the pilot for it. Dixon did not know that Perry never intended on shooting the show. Perry knew that he could use the motivation of shooting Mr. Dixon's show to get Dixon to do what Dixon had been resisting for many months, which was to give Perry the sexual gratification Perry so craved. Once the stage was set, Perry knew he could get away with sexual harassment. During the filming of The Oval in 2020, Perry engaged in a severe and pervasive tirade of sexual commentary, including but not limited to that Dixon liked being choked, following Dixon's being choked by a cast member in one scene on The Oval. Why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person who flirts with me. I've been trying to put that energy somewhere else, but everything is sexual on this stuff. That snake across the table made me think of, and then you have in brackets, photo of Nicki Minaj from the music video for her song Anaconda, in which she references intercourse with male genitalia symbolized by a snake. I will gladly choke you right now, Perry, referring to Perry's desire to choke Dixon in a sexual way. A suggestion that Dixon should get braces behind his teeth, but that plaintiff would have to give up BJs and that it could be dangerous for Dixon's partner, especially if they're not circumcised. What the hell? Now, can you imagine their text messages saying this stuff? And they have the exhibits down here. Oh my God. You didn't even have to use the word sex. It still sounds gross. You're talking about braces and BJs and somebody being cut up and not being circumcised. It's so weird. Okay, that's when you're thick, Derrick. Fun, Derrick. Drunk, Derrick. Before COVID, Derrick. I miss him. Just without a butt. And thick, Derrick. Woulda worked them pants out. Perry also photographed Dixon's buttocks while on set and sending the pictures to Dixon. 2 text messages of many show that Perry was jealous of seeing Dixon with other men and that Perry describes Dixon as so beautiful. All right, so this one text on this side over here, I'm just going to zoom in. Says, why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. He said, Dixon says, haha, I don't know. It's just Brad, lol. And Perry says, lol. Dixon says, he just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself, lol. You know, as Chipotle sounds good right now. Thick Derrick, get that Chipotle. Dixon says, haha, can you tell from that photo? Perry says, no, I can't. Only from your jeans. Dixon says, haha, that's how I measure too. If I'm not filling them out, I'm not working hard enough. Perry says, right. And scroll over. Something was said about to make men swoop. I don't know. Something to make men in the bottom of the other one. And then this one starts off with in your mind soon. And then Dixon says, well, it's not this person. But yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping. And then Perry says, no, not that person, lol. And Dixon says, just saying, lol. Perry said, yeah, I'm going to read lol like that because it's just funny. Perry says, I feel sorry for the person that you choose. Dixon says, and I won't even take an aspirin from someone anymore. Haha, I would cry if that wasn't so funny. Why? And then Perry says, what I mean by that is that you're so beautiful when you finally are able to unlock your mind, you're going to make that person crazy. Oh, God. Okay. Y'all, we coming to the age of, at the end of page 20. And I'm going to stop right here and we're going to pick up at page 21. And then I'm going to try to get through the rest of the next in the part 3. I know there was some parts that just, I'm sitting here trying to, I hate being overly analytical, but certain things just have to make sense to me, okay? Don't shoot me for it. All right. So the last paragraph here, and we're at paragraph 113, by the way, on page 20. This series of comments and other unwanted sexual references made Dixon highly uncomfortable. Dixon was caught in a bind. He could not complain to anyone in HR. He had nowhere to turn for relief from the sexual harassment, and he knew that if he did not endure it, he would be killed off from the Oval. Dixon was unsure whether to joke back to rebuff Perry's sexual harassment, so he endured it, knowing that his job was on the line if he did not engage. And then when we come back on tomorrow, we're going to pick up part 3, page 21, because this is something else. Good Lord. Y'all, 32 people watching. I can't believe y'all still watching this. This is some good bedtime story type thing here. Because I you know, what I would love to ask if I could ask anything of of Dixon is, why didn't you just secretly find another job? Like, this is insane. I would have been looking for another job. So you guys are having some great conversations. Let's check out some comments here. This is a lot of these advances. Lady Luck got me cracking up. Tyler wants some payments for that car. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, don't buy a car if you want some. You know what? I said it because I mean, if you're trying to prey on someone, then you're going to get them extravagant gifts that you know they can't even afford to get on their own. I hope Dixon had that car title in his name, though. If he bought the car, wouldn't the title be in his name? That means that he's not having to make payments, so he would be able to just sell the car, right? I would just sell the car, sell the damn car. Laura said, Gemini, I'm sure it worked out many times. Cundil said he would have been wearing a bulletproof vest. Exactly. It worked on Days of Our Lives. Oh my God. Saint, what's going on? Saint, Tyler Perry would use the 50 Cent defense. Yo, 50 Cent is just stepping hard for Tyler Perry, but he can't stand P. Diddy. Okay. Maybe because Tyler Perry is not facing criminal charges, I guess. I don't know. He just hates P. Diddy guts. We understand, but I don't understand this simping for Tyler Perry either. I don't get it. I don't get that at all. Carolyn said, I didn't think this is true. A lot of it just seems to be kind of fantastical. You know, that's why I was like reading it saying, all right, counselor. Because he's, you know, the attorney's job is to be overly zealous for their client and to represent them as best as possible. But the way I'm reading it, I'm sure a judge would be asking the same thing if he had, you know, if a judge, he or she reads it, they're like, did you just say full-throated refusal? Why are you putting in these terms, counselor, in his thing? You're going overboard with it. I get it. Okay. He wanted a BJ. Got it. That's what the judge was saying. They would be reading this saying, clearly Tyler Perry wanted a BJ from this guy. We understand. You reiterating that in every paragraph, though, does not help. It's just, it becomes redundant. So hopefully he does amend this to cut down on the verbose. It's very wordy. It's just, if anything, it's very, very wordy. And the descriptions he's giving and being overly wordy and repeating him, pretty much the same thing. He's trying to prove quid pro quo, but what did Perry get back in return to make that quid pro quo? We haven't gotten there yet. And we're on page 20 of 46. Ah. That's kind of like what the judge is gonna be like. Look, I had to read, Lady Luck Club and I both had to read 25 good pages before anything came back Tyler Perry's way. You're talking about quid pro quo here. What did he get back? I mean, he bought a car. He let the guy live in the house on the lot and blah, blah, blah. Probably gave him money. He had alcohol delivered to his house. What did he get back? We're on page 20 and we're not seeing anything with that quote coming back. It's kind of reach. It's a too much of a reach. You can tell the attorney that wrote is desperately trying to reach. And it's still just not fully coming together with some of these allegations and the charges that they have listed. Now, harassment, probably. This is, remember you all, the burden to me here is the preponderance of the evidence. He just needs to be 51% convincing. But you got to still meet certain parameters for certain charges to even stick, even in a civil procedure. So he might be able to get harassment in and even sexual harassment. But rising to the occasion of being quid pro quo, I don't know. I haven't read it yet because I haven't seen what he's gotten back other than him climbing in his bed. And how did he not see that guy come in the room? Like, Tyler Perry is a big guy. He's tall. He's not hard to miss. He's not hard to miss. So how do you not see him coming in the room? Was the door closed? Like, even if the door was closed, you hear the door opening. Like, there's certain things like that. Questions that are going to be asked that's not deliberately inside of the complaint. That's the filler that the judge is going to want to know. So you didn't hear him walk in the room? You didn't know he was in the room at all until he got in the bed? I mean, how quiet is he walking here? Did he tiptoe in? Were you already asleep? How did this go? Like, it's going to be a lot of questions asked. A lot of questions asked because it's like you're skipping out some parts of this. And the bigger question is going to be, how is the attorney going to answer those questions? How does Dixon fill in those blanks? Because naturally, you got to remember now, there's a jury trial demand. And you got a member of 6 to 12 people, jury of peers that's going to be on this jury. I think with a civil procedure is a panel of 6. It might still be 12. I don't know. I know criminal matter is 12. Civil procedure, I think it may be 6. But either way, these are people that you're going to be asking to still use some level of common sense and logic here. It has to be what the average, reasonable person assume, right? A reasonable person would say, how did you not know he walked in the room before he slipped into the bed? Reasonable person will ask that. So far, Tyler Perry has been petty as hell and being an asshole and harassing with text messages, but quid pro quo, I'm just not seeing it right now. Not right now. But, we're going to keep reading. Did Dixon get all this recorded? He allegedly had text messages and emails. So far, we've only seen text messages. I have not seen an exhibit that references a video or a recorded hearing, like a recording, audio recording. I haven't seen that yet. So, yeah, that was Candida's question. Then Carolyn said, Tyler buying a car for Dixon and wanting more from Dixon. Yeah, I mean, clearly that you're setting the stage up for a quid pro quo, but it still has to deliver with the quo part. Like, what did he get back? If he didn't give anything back, everything could just be seen as a gift and not necessarily, I'm trying to expect something in return. I mean, Tyler Perry would have to defend himself with that. that's kind of how I'm seeing. I'm just looking at it from both sides here. So far, I haven't read anything that screams quid pro quo. I'm just seeing where he's buying gifts, letting him live on the lot, on the studio, in the studio house. Well, what does that look like? Studio house sounds like it's like a little nice little living arrangement. And then you got to remember this is during COVID. So a lot of interactions physically may not have even taken place. That's probably why he has so many text messages. Because they couldn't really physically interact with each other like that. Because it's COVID. So that's something that's going to be factored in if they go to trial. Like, this is so crazy. Laura said trigger warning. Gemini, Tyler stuck it to Derrick eat deep. No pun intended, nowhere is defended. Oh, man. Interesting, yeah. Tyler's obviously a woman. Enrique said they figured that they would they be the one on top since CP is feminine. I guess Tyler Perry was wanting him to be a bottom, I think. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Gemini, Tyler Perry is petty if he can't pet them. He is so petty. He's definitely petty. Yeah, we can say that. LLC trying to make sense of this crazy shit. Total manipulation. I heard Lance Gross hit Tyler, allegedly. Oh, that's the guy, the young. Oh, he's so cute too. Lance, is it Lance Gross or Lance Goss? I know the first name is Lance. He was on the Meet the Pain show. Honey, when I say sexual, sexy toxic. Sexy as hell. He's sexy as hell. Let me just say that. He's sexy as hell. I think I got the right to say that. No one's trying to do anything to him. I'm just complimenting him. He's a good looking man. Let's see. I did too, Gemini. Did Tyler try that on him? Well, now we know why his talent peaked a decade ago. Oh God, because English irreplaceable. All his stuff is corny. Now it is. It's like copy and paste. Like his, stage productions and stuff. They're kind of like the same of what his other productions had been. At least back then, between Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion, I Can Do Bad All By Myself, Medea Goes to Jail. Like, those were, he could create different storylines with them. But then when they started becoming movies, then you start seeing some of these movies kind of mesh together. And it's like, okay, we've already seen this in your stage plays. Now we're having to see it in a movie. And it's not like he really changed up the script too much or the characters too much. Didn't provide any more depth to the characters. Just kind of, on this monotone playing field. It was almost like fairy tale-ish, so to speak. And it's like, it's okay to get a little deep. I think that's why people are enjoying this movie Straw so much. I haven't seen it. I've seen summaries about it. I was on Messy. She's so funny. Messy Michon. She did a live talking about it, almost giving like a movie review of it. But his stuff has just been like the stage plays and stuff like that. It's just been kind of like an auto repeat. And it's hard to watch because it does get corny after a while. It's like, come on, man, you making the same point. We got it. You got to forgive people. Thank you. Anything else? Get creative here. Y'all forgot he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie adaptation of that. Tyler Perry was he was in that they did a part 1, part 2. He was in both, wasn't he? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everything's not meant to be translated to the big screen. This is the best play movie that TP has created yet. Laughing my butt off. I know the lawsuit. Enrique, his early stuff was great. It was. I enjoyed his earlier productions and stuff, especially with the singers. Oh, he has some of the. One thing he can do is find some great singers. Tyler Perry can get some really good vocalists and have some great music, great song. Heaven Waits for Me. I cry on that every single time. Say What You Need to Say. I mean, man, every time I hear that, I cry. It makes me think about my grandmother. So, because she ended up in a nursing home and all of that other good stuff. Child, that song right there, it's automatic. Gonna make me cry. But he can't sing, but he knows how to pick some fantastic vocalists and good music. But I mean, yeah. What's up with Tyler and Shannon Sharp choking people? I don't know. Don't touch my hair, my neck. Don't do all that. That's crazy. Gemini Perry was seriously abused and obviously never recovered. Yeah, this is it's like you said. You see, just textbook. The thank you for the bit. Night Story LLC. You're welcome, Justin. I'm almost done, you guys. I thank you all for hanging in there and tuning in. But you see this textbook translation of the abused becoming the abuser, allegedly. And you're definitely seeing a pattern of behavior with manipulation and retaliation. Tyler Perry is petty, but they will still have to prove that more than likely than not, he did all these things when it comes to the quid pro quo and sexual harassment. But this is an opportunity where you wish that more people would have come forward, because it would enhance each other's allegations to show, okay, you got, like with P. Diddy, you got over, how many people filing lawsuits now, coming forward, testifying, saying the same thing practically? It's hard to deny at that point. And the witness testimony just makes the case more credible. When you only have like one or two and everybody else is scared of being paid off, it's hard to, especially with someone that has, that notoriety and that type of money, to be able to pay all the attorneys he needs, to fight this. Now, if he settles this, if that's what happened with Christian Keys and he decides to settle this, then that's going to be a pattern of behavior to pay attention to. Because innocent people don't settle everything. Same thing with Eddie Long, that the bishop that passed away that was here at this mega church in Atlanta. He had about 3 or 4 young men file lawsuits against him, and he settled it. More than likely because he didn't want that discovery to get out there. He didn't want people to see evidence that they may have had on him. Who knows what's happening with TD Jakes? I heard he was being sued. Like, these things just, not Tyler Perry. We're already dealing with P. Diddy in court. R. Kelly, they want him to get freed, and a jury has actually convicted him. Like, this is so crazy. This stuff is so crazy. Thank you so much, Justin, for tuning in, and all of you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're going to do part 3 tomorrow. He had probably been looking for a job for a while when he came across CP. He was working at Legendary Events. That's what's so crazy. I want to quit my job, though. I would not have quit my job. If the rumors be true, even if it's a rumor, and someone said, hey, Tyler Perry make people quit their jobs and make them depend on him for stuff. Okay, well, then that's one thing he will not get from me. He will not get any level of dependence out of me. I'm not going to quit my job. I'm going to keep working. You can be mad till Jesus gets back. Good luck on Judgment Day. I'm going to keep my job, though. Yeah, good luck on Judgment Day, Tyler Perry. I'm keeping my job, though. You won't be able to get that satisfaction out of me. Oh, my goodness. I want to quit. I may need to balance my sleep by watching some cartoons to avoid any mental damage from prior sex. Watch that Boondocks episode. There you go. Y'all watch that Boondocks episode. You will get a good laugh out of that. I'm going to watch that again tonight before I go to bed myself. Enrique, he was participating in this willingly. Seems like so far. I mean, he not saying he allowed the sexual things to occur, but he definitely didn't push back hard enough. And then you think about a situation with Christian Keys, where Christian Keys was like, I'm out. Bye. You're not getting that out of me. Bye. I think he kind of, all right, let me just wheel him in and just keep this in balance to where he's still doing all this shit for me and I'm still not giving him any hands. But we're gonna keep this in balance. I'm gonna just keep them close enough to where I can still get my TV show and not lose my role. But yeah, it's almost like leading them on a little bit. Enticement, so to speak. You taking the gifts, you taking the car, you're taking the opportunity to go to his house, you're drinking the alcohol, you're doing all this stuff. Not much of a pushback. That could be a defense that Tyler Perry could bring up. As gross as the text messages are, yeah, don't get me wrong, but that could be a defense that Tyler Perry could say, listen, he didn't really push back too hard either. Because inquiring minds want to know, did you see this man come into the bedroom before he slipped in the bed with you? Fill in the blanks, Derrick Dixon. You got to fill in the blanks on that. I'm sorry. Because the judge is going to ask, did you not see this big, tall, 6 foot something man come in the room? Are you kidding? You expect me to believe you did not hear him or see him come in the room before he slipped in bed with you? How deep of sleep were you in? Like, how long had you been asleep? That might even come up so that the judge could gauge, okay, were you in a deep sleep or did you just fall asleep? Were you asleep at all? Because if you weren't asleep, then you really need to explain this. How does that work? So he just came in the room. You weren't asleep. Means you should have seen him come in and he slipped behind you in bed. Come on, bro. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's another YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel actually called Make It Make Sense. Shout out to him. I actually watched some of his videos. Allegedly. I know, right? We say allegedly, and we're saying allegedly. Yeah, I gotta get used to saying that. Normally I don't. Is that my trigger warning? I love Bugs Bunny. It's been years since I watched, but sounds like a good time though. Oh man. Y'all make sure y'all watch that Boondocks episode. There's some funny stuff in that. 50 Cent baby mama Daphne was in a freak off with Diddy. Tyler wasn't. Okay. 50 Cent, how you gonna sit here and support one person? Like, even if it's alleged, come on, man. You know, why support either? He's so mad. I don't think he ever liked P. Diddy. I don't think 50 Cent ever liked P. Diddy in general, especially after, you know, he tried, I guess, to get him to go shopping for him or go shopping with him. And 50 Cent like, fuck you saying? I'm going shopping with your ass. I'm a grown man. What you talking about? No, we're not going shopping. Because you can see how P. Diddy does when you do go shopping with him. You turn out like Meek Mill and you're dressing like the guy. Multiple times. How many times are they dressing like? Y'all. The last time my sons dressed like they, I mean, I'm talking about wearing the same shirt, same color. They were small children taking photos. Or we were out on vacation. They don't even do that now. My kids are 16, 17, 12, and 13 this year. They don't dress just like their father. No one who at a certain age, you just don't do that. You're a grown man dressing like another grown man, and this is not your dad or your uncle or a relative that raised you. Yeah, if you know something where you really, really close. Like, y'all don't have a reason to be wearing the same exact thing. You know, you just don't. Y'all, this Meek Mill is so weird. Oh my God. Oh man. All right. I'll just get some comments in here. I appreciate you all for tuning in, man. We having fun here. This is something else. This lawsuit is like our bedtime story. You know, we're just gonna read it before we go to bed. Because this is exactly what I'm gonna do when I get off. I'm going to bed. Oh man, God is revealing filth. This is true, but it may still trigger a thought back to this suit. Yeah. Oh man. Cundia came ready and she was waiting. Y'all come on in, hit the like button. Come on, let's go. I'm so glad I didn't want to become an actor. Their couch auditions sound very painful over time. Oh man. There's a video about that. I have not seen it, the video, but I saw it came up in my recommendation because I saw the Boondocks episode. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Ooh, would make TD Jakes say that in a whole church? Stop it, bro. You stop it. No. Bad TD Jakes. What's wrong with you? Have you ever been swallowed? Swallowed up. Swallowed. We gotta forgive you? I don't know. Oh man, I hope y'all forgive me. I don't for whatever. Since Star came out, they say Tyler getting rich off black women's pain. I mean, he's had a lot of themes of, black women's struggles. But I haven't seen his other stuff either. I'll say this, because I don't want to be I don't want to be unfair about it. I haven't seen his other shows like The Oval or the other one, Ruthless. Those I haven't seen those shows, so I'm not quite sure what those shows are about. But I think he's only done one movie where he kind of touched on some level of realistic, issue going on with an interracial couple he featured in the movie Medea's Christmas. And I know that, it was about an interracial couple. And I know the guy, the girl, of course she's black. She was married to a white guy. They had to deal with, people who were still kind of being racist and bigots and stuff like that because, interracial marriage. And that was kind of like a realistic, just situations that interracial couples go through, right? So putting that in the film makes sense. When you have those people that's still going to look weird and say stupid things, because a black person's married to a white person, or, even if they're not married, in a relationship, and you see interracial couples, some people still have some sort of discrimination about that. So it is realistic to put something like that in the film. But I haven't seen anything else where he featured any hardships or pain of any other race. So I can understand, that point. He did an interview with Sherry Shepherd, and he acted awkwardly the whole time and has been wearing some flamboyant suits as well. Oh, he's always dressed flamboyant. Eddie likes it. Eddie Long. Yeah, Rick, he's cutting up in here, man. Eddie likes it. Oh, Lord. Eddie Long, New Birth Church. Yeah. He's passed away. He had, what did he have? Some form of cancer. So Eddie Long passed away about 5-6 years ago. Now you got Jamal Bryant over there. Oh, I roll. I don't know what, whole thing's strange. Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Perry does very good shows, and it appears that he really seems to enjoy to put himself into the characters a little too much. Yeah, yeah. He's definitely full of himself. Yeah, we can all, yeah. That's why I said he's definitely petty. Tyler Perry is petty as hell. It's all right to cross dress for God. Pause. Saint, did you see that Boondocks episode? Because that's what it was. A Stewie. The character kept saying pause. Great Daddy was like, "You say pause at me one more time." He said pause. Y'all, please watch that episode of the Boondocks. I played a little bit of it earlier just to kind of get everybody in the mood to read this lawsuit here. Oh my God. So funny. I watched the full thing earlier though. So funny. I'm gonna watch it again. It's so good. I love that episode of the Boondocks. The Boondocks was a good show. They need to come back on air. He must have been giving something up. He had to be doing something. He kept this guy on the edge all this time. Tyler Perry probably could have just went on to the next dude. Seriously. The meat, not the sheets. He say that. Or end up in bed together like Diddy and Justin Bieber. Oh man, that boy is going through so much, y'all. You gotta tell him no. Gemini said, you got to tell him no. You come to Tyler Perry, you got to tell him no. When he want to buy you that car, you got to tell him no. Derrick Dixon, part of your problem is just not saying no and walking the hell away. You don't spend the night at his house. Oh, I'm drunk. Yeah, you're right. I'm finna go sleep in my car. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna sleep in that car you just bought me. Yeah, it's good. It's brand new. So, whatever. Predators move different. Don't blame the victim. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to take sides with this. That's why I'm asking questions and just kind of bringing up thought, and provoking conversation, that when it comes down to it would matter in the court. What the jury would be able to decipher based on the evidence and testimony and the judge. They have a jury demand, so the jury will be making the decision if it goes to trial. And some of these things are going to be questioned on both sides. Filling these gaps, y'all. Wow, y'all tripping. What do you mean here? Have you ever been swallowed up? No, I have been. I have been. The baby version of the swallow rant is funny. Enrique, I have been. Really? Has anyone here seen Oval? I haven't. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna watch it either. I'd rather watch Schitt's Creek. Tyler Perry claimed that he, was pitched the idea of Schitt's Creek with Eugene. What's his name? Guy's name Eugene. Something. Him and his son. And he said he kind of passed the show over to someone else, but then realized how successful it was. I've seen every episode of Schitt's Creek. Funny stuff. And a couple of them I watched twice because one of them had a musical in it. Yep. So yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show. I got glimpses of it, Laura. Sounds to me that Perry wanted an open cast, but the benefits are terrible. I'm in a relationship. There you go, Saint. Never wrong with that at all. And real life situations like that where he put in the movie where, people get these snarky remarks and all this other stuff about that. Yeah, that makes sense. But, you talking about somebody getting shot 4 times in the chest, and then if they're not wearing a bulletproof vest, there's no way. Because it would defy science, Tyler Perry. It defies science. It just wouldn't make sense. My sister watched Oval, but I never have. Oh man, I love my white man. Dixon is a cute guy. So is Brad Pitt. Mm-hmm. There's a few good-looking white men I said, oh man. I don't discriminate. Good looking is good looking. Be honest. Saint is black, right? All right. I don't know. What are you saying? Laura's asking. Has anyone ever seen the movie Something New with Sanaa Lathan, Simon Baker's Blair Underwood, Mike Epps, Taraji? I have. I've seen that once, I think. Yes, I did see that episode. LC is one of my favorites. I can't remember if I've seen that movie, Saint. I have seen that movie. Saint is, she said, I'm Black, Mexican, Native American, Apache, and Irish, French. Wow. Look at that. All that rich history in you. Come on now. Saint, know how old is it? The movie is from early 2000s. What's Sanaa Lathan? I mean, she's a good actress too. Her and Nia Long, underrated, but good actors. I do like their work. I mean, come on, Nia Long and oh God, what? Y'all, I'm tired. The movie. Nia Long and what's his name? He doesn't even do a lot of movies anymore. Just like one of the best love movies I've ever seen. Love Jones with Nia Long. Child, that's a classic. Love Jones is a classic. Eugene Levy, there you go. Eugene Levy and his son did Schitt's Creek. Great show. I love it. Everybody loves Schitt's Creek. It was funny. It was very funny. It was about Sanaa's character finding out love can cross color lines and how to maneuver through the preconceived notions of black and white race relations. Exactly. It was a good movie. It's a good movie. Laura said, I'm white, Cherokee, Irish. There you go. I love a family that prays. All right, cool. Listen, we're in 2 hours, y'all. I wanted to get y'all comments in and chat with you all and engaging because I can't see the chat while I'm reading the document because I'm on a different tab. I appreciate all of you. It is going on 11:47. It's getting late. So it's time for everybody to go to bed. Make sure y'all watch that Boondocks episode before you go to bed so you can get a good laugh in. Justice said I'm Henny's 57. All right now, just McConnell is my maiden name. We have a family crest. Seeing it saying it gives you a different view. Never know. Yeah. Oh man. So you guys tune in tomorrow. We're gonna do part 3. Hopefully I can finish up the rest of the 20 pages. I'm doing 10 at a time, and I did not intend on that. Maybe have broken it up in 2 parts, but yeah, we're going to part 3, and we're gonna pick up with page 20. And I'm trying my best to just get through the remaining 26 pages. I won't play anything else. That'll be all I watch. That'll be all we check out. I am gonna do some other videos and just have them uploaded. SS put out a book or something's pre-ordered. It's weird. No one will buy that for $100, girl. I don't know why you think someone's gonna spend that type of money on a book. But God bless your heart and all your parts. You guys take care. Have a good night. Tune in tomorrow, part 3. Preferably we just get done with it. And I appreciate you all so much. Hit the like button on the way out. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.